So we got the linear probe, the probe markers on the upper left. On this one, when I hit exam, you can see there's a lot of options. It will work no matter what you do, but might as well choose venous or vascular if you can. 3.8 centimeters is probably good enough. This has a probe marker on it. If you're not sure, you just start touching one side, and you see that I'm touching the side of what's on there. And then gel is your friend on this one, so I go ahead and put a whole bunch down. And just because of the way the chairs are, it's like hard to really frog on, but we'll do it like that. Is that okay for a minute? Okay. So, like I said, we have to be kind of uncomfortably close. So you can see we're already like at a Mickey Mouse where there's 3 vessels, and I'm way up where the towels are, so that means I'm not high enough. So I have to go even higher, and we'll get a little bit more depth. So way up here, and then I finally get 2 vessels, right? I just have to be careful not to put too much pressure because they start to collapse. We're doing the opposite leg that we saw everything, so everything's going to be a little backwards. So the nerve, artery, vein, right? So there's his vein. So I'm going to put some pressure. He's going to collapse fine. We're going to go down and see his artery and the saphenous happen at the exact same time. You guys see that? You see the saphenous right there at the top. His is a little bit small, and the artery is splitting at the same time. So I would just compress all of them. And we can kind of see a little lateral perforator right there going between the 2 arteries. For young, healthy people that their veins are shallow, you're going to see that. But the same thing happens when they have adipose tissue. You're not going to see that tiny vessel. You're just going to assume that it's there, right? Okay? So then we're moving down, and we're going to see his vein split. You see the vein split right there? Yes? 4 vessels, 3, 4. And so right there, we're going to compress everything. And then now all I care about is the top 2. Right, and so then I'm just going to march my way down, make sure I put enough pressure. The chair is behind it, so the side doesn't have room to move. And then usually about 2/3 down, it'll go deep enough, and you could follow it, but the resolution you see starts to lose. And if I'm pretty happy if I get 2/3 down the thigh on most people, because then I can usually get most of the popliteal by angling. So that's good enough for me. Okay. Then I have him bend his knee. Pick up all the jelly that was there. Doesn't really matter if the if the probe markers either way, because there's going to be, for the most part, on top of each other. Just sometimes what happens is there's 2 linear probes that are out there. One's a thin one, one's a thick one. This wide one has a little bit of trouble sometimes getting between the hamstrings. So we'll see, especially when the knee is bent, they're a little bit tighter. So for him, it's a little hard to get him in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to angle like this a little bit, right? So that the width becomes narrower just by doing it. So I'm twisting. So here's his hamstring. If I twist, there's a less of a width there, right? So right there I'm twisting, and actually we don't need as much depth as we have. Okay, so I see vessels, and there's actually multiple branches already, so I'm going to go up a little bit superiorly. And then they're already coming from the other side. So his branches happen, or he's just got probably collateral from being a runner, basketball player, or whatever. So I'm actually just going to compress this whole area, all of the above. And then, if you do a 5 centimeter sweep inside that fossa, then that's plenty too, okay?